Hello, hello, hello. I'm Sade. Welcome to my page. And I want to rant about one of my first hyperfixations: Black women who rap. I saw this Cash doll versus Asian doll beef that has just gone off the rails, began to absolutely make no sense now that Asian doll has like announced all these threats and how she planned on getting Cash doll set up. And I wanted to talk about outgrowing your audience because so many people were like, "Oh, name an Asian doll song, name an Asian doll song." I can name a few of them. Oh my God, see? First of all, I came up listening to Rico Nasty, to Molly Brazy, to Bally Baby, to Cuban, to Cash, all of them. So, yes, I do know some Asian doll songs. Yes, I have seen, them coming out along the way. I've always loved Black women rappers. So, I have a lot to say about this. I've seen Asians' evolution and de-evolution. Yikes. First of all, Cash Doll is the original doll, which, okay, okay, like, so, this is so crazy. Cash Doll, the original doll, all right, like, everybody inspired by Barbie, all right, okay. You're Nikki's son, therefore you're Kim's son. Like, who cares? What I actually want to talk about is ageism. What I actually want to talk about is ageism and the same misogynistic, weird ass rhetoric that you project on other women boomerangs around and it hits your ass too. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. The same misogyny that you promote and uphold is also spanking your ass too. Because yes, Cash Doll is 35. Oh my, and a Pisces. Did you know that? It's 35. Yes, it's illegal. It's a crime. A woman 35. Now, mind you, Asian is calling her all kind of ugly and washed up and wrinkly and saggy and raggedy. And I'm like, if this is what old looks like, I am praying and manifesting that I look like Cash Doll. I look like an old raggedy hag like Cash Doll when I turn 35 because she looks good. She looks good. Yes, I saw that Shannon Sharp interview. I saw him bring up the whole doll conversation. Who started the doll wave? I don't want to be in the conversation with the rest of the dolls. I can definitely understand why Cash wants to separate herself from this, not only because she is giving mature grown woman vibes. She's always been in a lane of her own. She's always had hits. Like, listen, one thing Cash is gonna do is eat up a feature. I was like, listen back to some of her music, and of course, loving Bossa Nova still. Love, like, No Lames. I was just thinking about some of these songs. Obviously, Here I Go. Because I heard you bitches was looking for me. Bitch, here I go. Like, absolutely. I was just thinking about all of her old music and looking at her on tour. Some of the footage was going viral and everything. And I was like, oh my God. Girl, I forgot how much I love you. Which is so crazy to me because Cash came out musically in 2014. Like, I know that she was really popping around Detroit and she always been getting a bag. She's always been that girl. But it's so crazy. Like, wow. Wow, y'all have been the soundtrack of a lot of my life. Thanks. And Asian Doll came out in 2015, FYI, which even back then been bumping. Let me tell you why. I'm the youngest doing it. Or oh my God, Chapter One. There's so many songs from Asian that I enjoyed. I'm not gonna lie. I can still give you Chapter One word for word, bar for bar. Oh my God, like, don't even get me started. I have a lot of memories towards the music and all the gas station music videos. Mind you, you was doing gas station music videos and kind of still is. And Cash was out here on yachts and stuff. Whoa, listen. Hold on. I know, the hardest dolls. Like, listen, being aggressive and off-putting is not the only thing that makes you an amazing rapper, right? So let's relax. Oh my God. You know what? This brings back so many memories. Like, I remember when Itty Bitty Piggy was taken off of YouTube. That was sick. Why did they do that to Asian? Like, lame niggas be my shit. I loved whenever she was in her alternative bag before we got into all of this YN nonsense. Okay, like, listen, she's got the big ass boots on. Love it. Listen, kind of biting Rico, but also just like being very much like the alternative, brown skinned girl representation that I needed. I adored her for a minute, y'all. Used to be bumping songs like Maine. I definitely remember when the whole Princess Nokia giving her flowers and talking about how it's so much harder for her because she's brown skinned. I definitely remember that. I remember her signing on with Gucci and thinking that she was really about to make some waves and make some motion, and it just came and went. Yes, first off, bitch, you know that I'm the hardest doll. I remember. The North remembers. Okay, I remember. But Asian has lost all of her momentum for the most part. Sorry, to circle back to Kash being the best feature to throw on a song. I love songs like On Red. They both have some standout songs for me that just bring back memories. It just takes me back. Okay, it just takes me back. It just takes me back. Now I'm a Mono Leo and Megan Thee Stallion type of girly, but I still mess with Kash. And after the situation, I need to spin the block and go and listen to some Kash. I feel like Asian has never really been truly focused on the music. It's always been about internet drama and chasing behind men and caping for misogyny. It's crazy that her career is like stalling out because now more than ever, there's just this huge demand for women rappers. After the Cardi wave, a lot of girls came flooding in, and it's like, since you insist on doing this YN drill, it's like, it's unrelatable. Like, it's crazy. As a person who was a part of the core audience, like a person who was in that demographic, and it's kind of like what people are saying about Drake, where people are just like outgrowing you and growing away from you, and it's just not working. I totally understand why Meg took her off the album, because it's like, you're not that relevant anymore, and like this aggressive, just, it's too much. Like, it's too, After probably like Grandson, No Exposing, I fell off the train, bro. I don't know how y'all are still holding on. I feel like I'm just maturing past that. Like, I still love pussy rap. I need the gem playlist, but I don't be gritting my teeth and holding the strap and, jumping over no counter because somebody's talking to my man. That's not my life, bro. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't think it's just the YNification of Asian Doll that has stunted her career. I also feel like the name alone, since we're bringing up the name controversy and arguing about the name, I also feel like even the Asian part of the name would alienate and has prevented growth for Asian Doll, right? You're Asian, a black woman from Texas. Why? Like, why? Why? And why, whenever you changed your name to Cuban the Brat, like, why are you still fighting and scraping and scrounging over Doll? Like, I thought Cuban was Cuban Savage now, and you were Asian the Brat. So, like, why are you huffing and puffing and harassing Kash Doll over Doll? When she never changed her name, y'all were changing y'all. It's weird that we're fighting over a doll, and it's also weird that you have to go into all of these like insults and the ageism and the threats and calling the fellow YNs on her, because it's like, over doll is crazy. Over doll is crazy, especially whenever your career like don't have no motion like that. Like, now is like the time to be a woman rapper, right? This is it. This is it. Been talking about no Cardi B and Iggy Azalea type time, right? They just let a dark-skinned woman, Doechii, win a Grammy, which the album is fucking fantastic, by the way. See why you need to mature your music? But like, this is the time to be a woman rapper, but you're like focused on baby mama culture and like screaming at people on the internet. It's crazy. What are we doing? What are we to get in the booth? Get in the booth. I also felt like her name and like the culture, like the cultural appropriation of it, and like the chopsticks in the hair and the sexualizing kimonos and stuff like that. I've just grown and learned so much, and learned so much about different types of Asian cultures and just being respectful, and also like the stereotypes and oppression that Asian women go through, right? Like sexualizing a kimono or a hanbok is so problematic, right? And the different ways that people project on to black women, which y'all add to that in some ways as well. Different ways that people project onto black women, stereotypes onto black women and onto Asian women, and how in the long run it does more hurt than harm, and it's like so much to unpack there. So I'm never gonna like intentionally um kind of like make a mockery of traditional garbs from them. So I feel like things like that also alienate and prevent growth as an artist. I just remember how good Cash Doll was on Chanel slides. Where's Drizzy? Where is Drizzy? Where are you? But yeah, the ageism is so washed up at this point. The ageism is so washed up at this point. You're clowning her for being 35. Ma'am, you're 28, which means you're about to be 30, which means you're about to be the thing that you hate. And I saw this great video on TikTok.
Beauty standards was not very hard on Gen Z. And I know you guys are going to be angry at me, but it's the truth. And it shows with the way that you guys act. Okay. Gen Z, I feel like we're the first generation to be raised with this mentality of as long as you're young, you're attractive. And attraction doesn't actually matter. They didn't push the skinny stuff. They didn't push the being put together stuff. And nobody sit here and lie to me and be like, no, 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 that's not true. Specifically with like people of color, especially like the skinny stuff was not being pushed, okay? Like the beauty standard was not being pushed on us, okay? They were telling us that you're perfect, you're amazing, no matter how you look, no matter what you do, you can be 300 pounds and beautiful as long as you're young, as long as you're young. All that we were taught to care about is youth, and it shows, it really shows, okay? I remember when I was in high school, people would go to school with pajamas and like what's it called? Like a blanket on top of them. Like people did not give a damn. People would go to Walmart, Kroger, doesn't matter, looking a mess with pajama bottoms on. Like people do not dress to go out. Whereas in my mom's generation and like the generations before us, get dressed. If you go outside, you get dressed. Okay. And this has to do, the reason why I'm even thinking about this is the Asian doll and Cash doll situation because you see Cash doll and she's like, old bitch, you're an old bitch, you're old, 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 old. Listen, there's nothing worse than when I see girls my age or younger or like older, like slightly older, come at girls who are like in their late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, 50s, 40s, and y'all are like, old, you're old, you're old. They're old and they look better than you. Like, that's so embarrassing. Do you guys know how embarrassing that is? And honestly, I'm gonna say this when the millennials were coming on here and being like, Gen Z looks old. And if y'all want to say, oh, I look old, I don't care. I look good. That doesn't matter to me. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You guys care so much about youth. You guys care so much. Y'all are putting your hair in pigtails, wearing children's clothing, and you're being like, that automatically looks like things I look, that means I look good. No, it doesn't. Some of you are busted. Some of you are busted, and some of you are sitting here talking about old, old, old to women who, yes, they're 50, yes, they're 40, yes, they're 30, in their late 30s, but they look better than you guys. And y'all fell for it. Like these grown men that groomed you guys on Kick and Snapchat, telling you like they made you like attach your self-worth and like your desirability to your youth. Do you guys think that those men matter in the real world? They don't. Okay? So when you go outside and you look a hot fucking mess with your blue hair and your terrible table manners and you're not even dressed for the occasion and there's a woman in her 40s or in her late 30s and she actually looks good and she actually works out and she actually looks amazing and she cares about how she looks, she actually looks good. It's going to be very humbling when you notice that these women are getting more attention from you. Because, and don't sit here and be like, who cares about me? You guys care about male attention. That's why you're sitting here and calling women who are 30s and in their late 30s old. You care about male attention. It's your entire life. You wouldn't be sitting here calling older women old hags if you did not care about male attention. So my thing is, while y'all are sitting here and you let your groomers convince you that youth and beauty are completely intertwined and you cannot have beauty without youth, and that as long as you're young, you look good, you look like Boo Boo the Fool because you don't look good. And if you don't look good in your 20s, imagine how you're going to look in your 40s.
Is like constantly age shame other people as if like time stops for anyone. There's nothing wrong with living a full life. There's nothing wrong with growing and maturing. We cannot be 21 forever. Please, please, if y'all know somebody who has been 21 forever, please add me to them. I need to see this person who is going to stay 21 for their entire life. Like, just because you decide to be immature as fuck forever and ignore the fact that you're getting older does not mean that you're not getting older. Okay. Ageism, especially like woman to woman, and like the bullying and different things that we do to each other, because it's like, okay, but the same misogyny and the same patriarchy and the same extreme unrealistic beauty standards and the same non existent fountain of youth is coming for you too. So I'm just like, I just don't get it. 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 I do not think that the same thing happens to male rappers. Honestly, it should, but it doesn't. And that's why it's extra strange. I think before, like, not like us in this conversation about Drake making incel musical music, um, nobody was like, oh, he's 40 and he's still doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a very new conversation to like age shame men for having very childish and remedial lyrics. Like, I'm sorry, I think that that's very new. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like, oh, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, whatever, tap you on the shoulder. You're getting too old for this. You're done. Like, I don't think people do that to men to the same level. And mind you, I'm not saying that fans don't do this and don't lean into these things, because a lot of these fandoms are extremely ageist, even though it makes no sense. Wait, I thought about it more. Maybe this conversation about Drake's age and him being too old for his I hate women music, his, red pill, I get no hoes, give me a hug music. Maybe they were saying that not because he's like almost 40 or 35 or whatever, but maybe because of the allegations around talking to like people that are way too young. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just saying most of the time, I don't see people saying, oh, he's too old to still be rapping like this, or, oh, what you look like getting into rap beef? You're 40. It's like, who the hell cares? If you're still like in the midst of your career, if people still want to listen, I thought the understanding was you're going to keep making music until motherfuckers don't care anymore, or you get Rihanna money and then you just stop and spit out a bunch of kids. Like, what? Looked it up. Popular rappers around the age of 35, which is Cash Doll's age, like a Kendrick Lamar, a ASAP Rocky, a Machine Gun Kelly, which y'all listen to him? I don't know. It just came up on Google. But yeah, I get online and in true YN fashion, Asian Doll is on there self-snitching about conspiring to commit blank against Cash Doll while she's on her tour, right? So instead of like putting out music or going on your own tour or dropping some music videos, or you was about to send goons, scoundrels, and hooligans after this lady, and the only reason why you changed your mind is because you're pregnant now and you understand she's a mother. I mean, yeah, she's a mother, but she's also someone's daughter, sister, aunt, whatever. Like, why was that the default? Even if she didn't have, like, what? It took you getting pregnant to somewhat discover empathy and humanity. Girl, that's scary. What are we, what? The fact that it was even a thought being entertained is the strange part. Like, that's the most unhinged part. Like, The fact that you're like rubbing your hands like Birdman, that triggered, that upset over the doll name, as if you haven't already gotten money off of it, regardless. Like, whether she approves or not, and whether she's a real OG doll or not, you, Dream, Cuban, whoever else has been able to monetize off of it, right? So she ain't pull no Drake and sue y'all. So all she did was do an interview and speak her opinion, and that's perfectly fine. But instead of like wanting to be a rapper, like this weird mob boss gang thing against somebody, it's just like, what in the Tupac and Biggie is going on here? Why can't we just rap? What the hell is going on? Kendrick and Drake made a lot of money last year off of beefing, right? And getting into the studio and getting fans riled up and getting people's kind of participation in it and everything like that, right? And instead of taking the bag route, the money route, you're like, no, I'm just gonna get her set up. Like, what? God, like you're like allergic to success. Like you're allergic to common sense. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to continue to promote gun violence, right? After you lost like the love of your life to gun, like that would have changed. That alone would have changed me. I lose the love of my life. Oh no, I'm done with the shenanigans that has literally caused that exact situation. That's weird. Like to not even see the cause and effect there, to not have any empathy there after you see how gun violence, unnecessary gun violence, has affected you. I don't know. Everything about this like makes no sense to me. Prison doll announcing her pregnancy in the midst of beef on Twitter is like crazy work. Crazy work. Crazy work. It's just like the whole situation is like very mean, very nasty, very unnecessary, just literally not that deep. I don't see Dream Doll and Cuban Doll having such a visceral reaction. And it's so weird that the default to every issue, no matter how big or small, is such overwhelming like aggression and just being like irate and unhinged. There's nothing wrong with being mature. There's nothing wrong with aging like fine wine the way Kash is. She's like, what don't make dollars does not make sense. So not only her willingness to focus on the music and focus on her own progression. And first of all, she's walking around here with the whole dollhouse on the neck. That is crazy. Kash focusing on the music already endears me to her so much. And the grace in which she's handled all of this weird stuff, all of these weird threats and everything, and not allowing herself to sink all the way down into the depths of hell, huffing and puffing and just constantly tweeting her. It was just getting weird. It was all getting very weird, very strange. Misogyny hurts you. Promoting ageism, especially as a woman, it will never, ever, ever make sense to me. Doesn't it suck whenever you outgrow an artist musically and also antics wise? Like, maybe another reason why I'm so obsessed with K-pop now is they have such good media training. And I'm not saying they're not out there doing some random God knows what. I'm not saying that. But they do a much, 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 much better job of making the focus be on the music and not on the antics and the fuckery and the quotes and the unhinged behavior. She has made some bops. She has made some bops. She could be on tour right now. Like, they could be linking up. It's just so negative and so unnecessary. Hell, she could be focused on the baby shower right now, or you know what I mean? Anything else but this. Anything else but threatening another woman. And this is the thing that's always going to get me. The bullying, the cyberbullying, and all these different things, it's so much more disappointing whenever it's women doing it to each other. I know y'all, I get it. Y'all hate other women. I don't like you hoes. Sorry, it's me. I'm a softie. That's so sad to me. I hate seeing women attack and tear each other down. I'm not saying we always gonna get along. I don't get along with every woman. Like, block her and move on. Start a new wave. You still like, bro, this wave is mad old anyway. Like, you've already changed your name before. Fine to do a rebrand. It's fine to switch directions. You're seeing people like Dochi be so innovative with her style and with her persona. Like it or not, like Doja reinventing herself with her last album, right? Megan, your friends, going independent and taking more creative control and things with Japanese and Korean artists. Like, you see people inventing their own waves, right? Instead of arguing back and forth and tussling and being bitter that the ship has sank over here, we could be creating more ships. We could be doing other things instead of like doubling down on shenanigans and turning off even more people with the threats and the gooning and the degeneracy. I heard you bitches was looking for me, bitch. Here I go. Final thoughts. Please show me the fountain of youth, y'all. Please, please, because allegedly, some of these rap women, they're never gonna turn 35. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how they're doing it, and it's like fine. Like, black women. Sorry, another rant. Black women be aging so well, right? We still be looking so good. Well, if you don't have a raggedy man draining your battery, and yeah, if you're not the ones of you who are not pick me's, y'all look so good as you age, right? I've seen 40, 50-year old black women, etc., that look so freaking good, right? Because they ain't letting no raggedy man stress them out. You know, fine auntie vibes. I aspire to, okay? Like, screaming at the top of your lungs that Kash is ugly is crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. This is folding me. This is folding me. Like, saying, put the pictures up, editing Charter. Kash ain't pretty. It's crazy. Call her old all day. Oh no. Oh, if this is what 40 look like. Girl, first of all, drop the link, okay? I did my hair myself. Your stylist does not freaking miss. If that's what old and raggedy looks like, oh my god, girl, I'ma look good when I get there. Watching artists that I used to listen to so heavily, whether that be Drake, whether that be Asian, whoever, and just falling completely out of love with their music and also their like persona, their antics, their da da da. Like, you can feel it whenever you really outgrow the fuck out of an artist. And you're like, wow, that era when I was resonating with you, that's I've shed that skin. I am growing. I am growing as a person. I love that for me. You know what? I was just listening to Belly Baby's Enemy, which was a diss record against Rico Nasty, right? The girlies used to get in the booth. First of all, the song is still funny. I'm sorry. The song is still funny and still hits for me. You know, I love Rico Down. But the girls used to get in the booth. And saying all that stuff on Twitter during the Trump administration is crazy. Whenever you know he out here looking for prison labor is wild. Is wild. Is wild. The prison doll era is crazy. Like, absolutely. Asian has such a good example in Megan Thee Stallion, literally standing right there, right there. While you're calling Kash all kinds of names and attacking her and being weird, Meg is out here launching a new tequila with gorgeous bottles, and she's out on the beach serving people margaritas and putting people onto her new drink and the shorts match and working on some music and a TV show with Psy from P Nation from Korea. Like, so much positive things, right? We can't think of the last time something positive was happening for you in your career, and that is crazy. That's crazy work, especially whenever you have somebody right there that I want to say mentor, but like, kind of not only in the same industry as you, but like coming up, similar time periods and stuff, right? That's had all kinds of deals, right? Nike, Popeyes, whatever, whatever. How did we fumble this hard? Thank y'all so much for watching. Please subscribe. Yes, I talk about very random things. Yes, a lot of the videos are about K-pop, but I want to do videos about other things, okay? I want to do videos about other things. And I had so much on my mind about this whole ageism conversation, the misogyny in rap in general, turning me off, and like I can only take it in doses. Um, Kind of coming to terms with a lot of my own maturity and how it's pushing me away from music. Also, again, 2025, no buy. So, being conscious about my budget, being conscious about the types of things I'm ingesting, not following people who are super fucking negative anymore. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, I can't do it. Like, I cannot do it. That was so ghetto and disappointing. And I know like there's always been ratchery over there. Like I've never really followed Asian on social media for a long time, but this blew up and it caught my eye, and it's just disappointing. It ain't a good look. It's not a good look. I too am a Sagittarius. Asian Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius. I get some of the grudge holding, some of the aggression, some of the needing to get my point across, etc., etc., etc. Right? We have a lot of similar traits, obviously, but how it's executed is important too. Hopefully, there will be some growth and some maturity there, especially since she says she's pregnant and she's having a daughter. I wish her well, but I wish Kash Doll weller, if that's a word. If that's a word. You like my shirt? That's my fave. That's my fave. I love her down. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good day.